Okay, for question number 2, right, we've got an ionic compound reacting with a metal, okay, to produce a new ionic compound and a different metal. What kind of reaction is that? That's 1 mark, single replacement. Okay, we have to write it out in words. This stuff is calcium carbonate. It's reacting with lithium. That's going to produce lithium carbonate and calcium. Okay, they have to have the whole thing right to get the mark for the reaction. Okay, they've got to have every part of that, all those names right to get the mark for the reaction. Okay. I'll be nice today, but it won't be nice the next time. We've had the capital letters talk already, guys. Okay, now we need to balance. All right, right now the only thing that's out of balance is lithium. There's 2 on the product side, but there's only 1 here on the reactant side. So putting a 2 there will fix it. Everything is balanced now, right? So 1 mark if they have it balanced with the 2 in front of the lithium. If they have 1s in front of everything else, that's also fine. Okay. All right, questions on number 2. Okay, so it's out of 3 marks, right? 1 for the type, 1 for the words, 1 for the balancing. All right, next one. I've got an ionic compound reacting with another ionic compound, producing 2 new ionic compounds. Reaction type is double replacement. 1 mark. Okay, this stuff here is iron, Roman numeral 2, oxide. And it is reacting, reacting, that should be a plus sign, with sodium bromide. Okay, to produce iron 2 bromide and sodium oxide. Okay, again, they've got to have it just like mine, or they don't get the mark for the reaction. Though I would say hopefully written neater than mine. But, okay, now we got to balance it. Right now, there are 2 bromine on this side, but only 1 over here. So if I put a 2 here, that takes care of not only my bromines, but also the sodiums. And now everything is balanced. All right, so 1 mark for the balancing. Questions on number 3? Okay. For question number 4, okay, we have copper 2 nitride. So first I have to build that compound. Copper and nitrogen. The 2 tells me that this is a 2 plus. Okay, nitrogen's always a -3. So this is Cu3 and 2. And it's going to break down into nitrogen gas and copper. Is nitrogen one of our special elements? If they have that, that's 1 mark. Okay, what kind of reaction is that? Simple decomposition. 1 mark for that. Okay. Decomposition is fine. That's all I wrote too. Okay. All right. Now I need to balance this thing. Okay. Right now, the nitrogen is balanced. So that's good. All I have to do is put a 3 over here, and my coppers are good. Okay. So that's what it needs to look like for the balancing mark. A 3 in front of the copper. They have 1s in front of everything else. That's fine. That one's out of 3 as well. Okay. Guys, are you seeing now how important it is to remember these little details? The special elements and swapping and dropping correctly. Like you might have got whatever you wrote to balance, but it's not the correct reaction. Okay, so it's really important to remember those little details. Okay, and then for number 6, okay, we have potassium permanganate. So that's KMnO4. Permanganate is MnO4. Okay, it's a -1 and potassium is a +1. So this is already dropped and swapped correctly. It reacts with magnesium hydroxide, MgOH. This stuff's a -1, this stuff's a +2. So MgOH looks like that. Okay. It's going to react and form potassium hydroxide. This is a -1, that's a +1, so that's already okay. And magnesium permanganate. Okay, this is a +2, this is a -1. That means this will need brackets with a 2 outside. Okay, 1 mark if their reaction looks like that. What kind of reaction is that? Double replacement, 1 mark for that. For balancing, okay, I've got 2 hydroxides over here, but I only have 1 over here. So I'm going to put a 2 here in order to balance the hydroxides. Okay, that gives me 2 potassium. So I've got to go back over here and make sure my potassium balance. That 2 gives me 2 permanganates. There are 2 permanganates over here. My equation is balanced, right? So they should have a 2 here and a 2 there to get the balancing mark. Whole thing is out of 12. Please give them a mark out of 12 at the top. Hand it back to them. Once you've had a look at it, pass them forward to the front of the row so I can collect them.